All right. So, what was that question? Say that again for the people.
All right. So I was just asking you. So let's say in a marriage or even a serious relationship, like how do you feel about like one person, either partner, let's just say the girl, because we men, let's talk about the women. So let's say the women, she always, wants to go out. She's always in the clubs. She's always in everybody's face, you know, or whatever extrovert, whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it that. She's
Right.
always taking trips. She's always going places. Like, how do you feel about that?
Basically, um, being an extrovert, I think if you're a traditional man, a traditional woman, there's definitely a way, right? It says in the Bible, you got to be able to separate yourself. If you're choosing to be someone that is a Christian, that means there's certain things that I won't do, right? It means that by default you're going to separate yourself in some way. So if a woman, for example, and are you saying in the context of marriage or relationship, like boyfriend girlfriend, or are you being generally speaking? You're just
No,
in a
I'm saying
relationship.
like, okay, so like, marriages or serious relationships. Like, you got one partner that always wants to, whatever, go out, maybe like, and they always in the club. That you got the girl, like she always want to be in the clubs,
Now, is she with you, or
in
is she saying
everybody's
she
faces,
is she,
huh?
is she saying like, oh, I want us to go out to the club or out
No, she like,
traveling
let's say she wants
by
to,
herself? By
yeah, or
herself.
with her friends or whatever, like, and take trips and do stuff. Like, how do you feel about that?
That's to be honest, that's a red flag. And the
That's what
reason
I'm
being,
saying.
I know a lot of liberal or modern women today will look at that and be
We'll
like,
try to
oh,
do
he's
that.
one out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so
I
the
agree.
reason,
I agree. Look, I agree. Look, I would say this, bro. I would say this. Every once in a while, that's fine. But
right,
if you're always, always in the club, you're always in everybody's face, you know what I'm saying? Every, weekend or every other week, whatever. Or you always going on trips every, couple months or whatever. Like, I think that's too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that like I understand here and there, right? Because everybody need their personal space. But I feel like once you in a marriage and a serious committed relationship, bro, like you not, bro, like you're not single no more. Like, what is you out here still trying to live your life like you single for? That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? Now,
100%, 100%.
I agree with you being able to go off, whatever, do your thing, here and there. But sometimes too much is too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, like you're not gonna be in a relationship taking, hella trips every time or girls
And,
trips or whatever.
right. And I think to your point exactly is this: when you're doing those things, you're portraying yourself in a certain way to the world, right? Like if you're going and doing that thing, well, you're basically telling to those outside that don't know you, you have to think at it from this perspective. Take a step back. Think of someone who's not involved in a relationship and were to be just looking at the girl, because they're talking about the girl in this situation, right? This example. What do you think she is? Do you think she's single? Do you think she's married? Do you think she's looking? If I were to just take a step back and seeing this person traveling around the world to
Facts.
clubs
That's
with her
exactly
friends,
what I'm saying.
what would I say? I would say that she's looking, or she's at least somewhat interested, right, to be putting herself in situations. And that goes both ways. I don't want it to be one sided where
Nah,
like,
it's not. It
gosh,
go both ways for sure.
right,
It could be either
100%.
partner. But
Exactly.
look. And yes, I totally agree with you. Because right, as men, when we on vacation, when we see women, we like, hey, they up for grabs, right? Like
Right. Yeah, yeah.
everybody's here on vacation. Like it's like that's damn near what you're going to do to have a good time, right? So
Right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
okay, it's fine to go have a good time here and there, but sometimes too much is too much. Like, you know what I mean? Because like you said, at a point, we know what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? You going wherever y'all going, and it's gonna be other people there looking for a certain thing when you're married. You know what I'm saying? Or you in a serious committed relationship. So it's like, why is you still out here trying to live like you're single? Like, why do you still want to be in every other dude's face? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why do you still want to be out here looking for attention from other single men in
You know,
different
it's
countries or
funny.
different, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that because I'll shout out Andrew Tate. I'll refer to him because he brought up an example that I thought was very good. Right, like if you have your car, right, and you take your car, and it's like, let's say it's a Lamborghini, right, and you take your Lamborghini and you put the windows down, you leave your laptop, everything in the car, and you drive and think of the worst neighborhood in your area, and you leave your car there, and somebody breaks in into your car, right? And I know this is going to, get some people riled up, right? Who's at fault, right? It's the
That's,
person, the
yeah, that's
owner, right? Why? Because they put themselves in a predicament where they were inviting to other people. Now, I'm not saying that the owner is like me, the owner of the girlfriend or anything like that. I'm
no, I
talking
get what you're
about the
saying. I get what you're
girlfriend.
saying. It's a fact. It's a fact of the matter that that person is putting themselves in that
It's,
predicament.
and the owner in this situation is the girl. Not, I'm saying I'm the
No,
owner of it.
exactly.
It's
That
the
that
girl is
person
the
on the
owner.
trip, that
Right.
person
She's
taking
the
all
owner
of
of the
these trips,
car.
or being all in the club,
Yeah.
or every like you're putting yourself in that situation. Like this is
Right.
like where single people go. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
so. I mean, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. And as dudes, whatever, we like our space too. We want to go hang out with the boys and maybe go out, have a dudes night. That's cool. But are we doing that every, what I'm saying,
No.
week, or are we taking boys trips every, couple months, or like, you know what I'm saying? When you're
I'll
in a
tell you this.
serious
I'll tell you this. For all you guys that are listening, all you ladies out there listening, look, if I'm in a relationship, and this is my opinion, this is what I believe, I'm not gonna go do that. I'm gonna turn girls down. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I know that if I go out there with my friends, and even if I am, I'm just not interested. And to that point, you gotta know yourself, right? Like for a guy, like for us, we're not gonna have girls really walking up to us. We're the one that initiates that, right? So for the most
I
part,
mean,
that's why.
well, I mean,
Well,
I
there
mean,
you go.
you know,
Because
I mean,
it's always
I'm a little,
that's why we always say it's not safe for girls to go anywhere because we know that for the most part, guys are always going to say anything, right? And you don't
yes,
have to look
thirsty ass
amazing
niggas
for
looking
guys to approach
everywhere,
you.
lurking everywhere like this. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, so, and you want to be out there in front of like like you just want to be out there. Like for what? Like you're married or you're in a serious committed relationship.
Yes,
You know what I
and you've
mean?
got bigger things in life. Like now, you got to focus on, the goals that you have together, right? And I think to keep the marriage or relationship going strong, is you both have to be striving for something. If one person is striving, right, for something, and the other person's kind of lacking, right,
Right, or at
it's
least,
both not going to be
at least sacrifice a little bit. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
Like, look, Izzy, you know me. I like to turn up. Like, you know what I mean? But when I'm in and I be out there. I be like turning up, having fun, going places, doing this. We out. Nightlife. But when I'm in a relationship, bro, I
It's going
tone
to
it
change.
down.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tone it down. You feel me? Because like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like why am I even out here? Like I can't even if I'm in a serious committed relationship, I'm a tone it down. Like why would I be out doing what I was doing when I was
And
single?
I'll tell you this, and to your point, I think it's very important. You got to surround yourself with the right group of friends, the people that are going to support you and not make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing.
Facts,
I
facts.
think that's another thing a lot of people need to realize, man. When you surround yourself with the right people and you tell them, hey, I can't go out because obviously, I don't want to put myself in that environment. I just don't want to I don't feel comfortable. Right. I'm in a relationship. I don't feel comfortable. If you're
Yeah,
with the right
because you do
people,
got
they're,
some, bro. I'm telling you, you do got some of the
yes,
friends like, oh, he don't never let her do that.
yeah,
They start trying to, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. And
yeah,
if you're around the wrong people, they'll tell you, come on, man, this one night, blah, blah, blah. She's not even gonna know, man. But
that too. Yep,
they're gonna start telling you these things that okay, these people aren't good for me. The
getting
good
it in
friends
your
that
head. Yep.
exactly the good friends are gonna be like, all right, hey, I respect it, man. You don't want to go out, no pressure. We can do something else. Or, you don't even have to come out tonight. Me and some other friends are gonna go and have fun. That's how it should be. You gotta
That's
surround
facts.
yourself with the right people, like for guys and girls, for example. Like when you're having issues, right? And you're talking or asking advice from someone who's not in a relationship, who's single, who's not gotten,
That's what I'm saying. So, like,
exactly,
why
yeah.
the hell are you listening to them? And sometimes, bro, they be weird as hell. Like, bro, you ain't never seen them with nobody, and it's a reason. And you're gonna go listen to them. You're gonna let them make you single too. congratulations, you played yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you over here listening to somebody else's relationship advice who ain't even in a relationship. And then a lot of times too, they don't even know your partner. You know, they don't even know the person that they think they have their 2 cents to be able to, you know, throw into the conversation, you know, or their judgments to pass. Like they don't even know that person. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yes, and
they just want to talk.
I'll add to your point on this one. When you ask these girls, guys, doesn't matter, for advice, right? For the most part, they'll take whatever you're telling them and then project their experience, their personal experience onto you as the answer. So they'll tell you like,
Yeah, they
oh,
will. They will. But and see, that's where it's fucked up, Izzy, because it's
it's
like
yes,
that
yes.
person
Wait,
doesn't.
wait, wait.
Uh,
Go ahead, go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say a lot of times that person doesn't even know the person that they're talking about. So it's like, how do you just go listen to someone else's advice first off,
Right, and then
who's
I'll
not
add
in
this
your
too. Like,
relationship?
right, and I'll add this too because I think it's important, right? The person that might be asking advice on like their issues they're having in a relationship, they could have just gotten cheated. But what do you think they're gonna say? You know what I mean? They could have just
Oh
gotten
yeah,
something like
that,
that happen.
I mean, it could be
Yeah,
anything. You know what I'm saying?
anything, anything.
They
Yes.
could just Izzy, they could just not like you. Just flat out. You know what I'm saying? You go whatever. You got a girl, whatever. She got a couple friends that just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, they're not gonna tell her anything good. They're gonna
Hey,
tell her
and this is the worst.
some little hating
Yes,
ass shit. Yeah. So,
this is
and
the
that's what
worst.
I'm
I'll
saying.
say this real quick. This is the worst situation because some of those people, right? Those people that you ask advice from, they might deep down be like, "Oh, they don't spend enough time with me. I hate that dude or I hate that chick." You know, she got
Yeah. So
drunk. You know, like people like that,
they
right?
gonna throw some shade or some dirt on their name or try to make them. You know what I'm saying? Or try to make that person feel bad for being with that person. You know what I mean? They just because they just want to try to get rid of. And I'm gonna tell you what that is, bro. That's a hating ass person. They jealous anyway. You know what? They're
I like
not
how
even
you
really your
filtered that.
friend because they jealous of your relationship. They probably really want your dude to tell you the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they jealous of your relationship, they jealous of you, and they hating on you. You know what I'm saying? That's especially if they don't like your person for no reason and they just want to, get in your head and fuck your relationship up. And it's like, for what? But you're dumb if you let it happen, if you really listen to it. But a lot of girls are like that. They just listen to what their friends say, and they're gonna like, yeah, yeah, you kind of right. You dummy. Like, but I'm the one like we're in a relationship. Like, what the hell is you doing? Like, you know what I'm
Now,
saying? Like,
I'll preface it with this, John, because I think this is also important, right? That doesn't mean you don't listen to people's advices. All we're saying
facts.
is you listen to the right people's advices. Look at
The
who they
right
are.
people. That's a
If
good
I
point.
want to exactly, if I want to learn how to be for example, like a football player, right? I'm gonna listen to you for advice if I want to be a running back, right? I don't go to the punter and ask them how to be a running back, right?
Facts.
I don't go to
Like,
quarterback to ask them how to freaking read like a safety, a running back,
right.
for the receiver
And
one,
you don't go to your single friend who's been single and don't even have nobody and ask them about your relationship advice. You know what I'm saying? Just to me, that's just whatever. You can do whatever you want to do at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's a good idea. First off, I think that a lot of times y'all issues should be between y'all. Y'all need to come. Don't add other people into your relationship problems because that's only gonna create a problem for your relationship. Once you start adding people in there, now everybody knows your business. It's not just you and your partner. Now it's you, your partner, and her friend, your friend over here too. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's no good, bruh. Like that your relationship is gonna get destroyed because now you're gonna be listening to him. She's gonna be listening to them. That's not good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
and
You
I'll
need
preface it with this too. When you get to that point, right? Before you even get there, just so people know that are listening in, right? We're talking about in a situation where you're serious in a godly relationship, or at least you have the same values. You're not saying this in a situation where, like, for example, like we mentioned before, like the guy might be simping over someone. She's obviously taking control, right? She's in charge, and like say for example, if we're friends, we're telling, hey, she's not good for you. Like we're not saying like don't listen to that
Yeah,
advice if
nah.
you're simping. No, no,
We talk about
different.
marriage. We
Mhm,
talking about
yes,
serious,
exactly,
like committed, like
exactly,
relationship
exactly.
type stuff.
So
Like
people are clear. Yeah.
situations. You know. So that's what we're referring to. We're not just saying like, oh, out here with any bitty. No, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. We talking about the serious committed relationships. So
Yes. So
yeah,
yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
always important to get advice from the people that know. And like we mentioned before, first and foremost, you got to have done. And at the same time, this.
Facts. Hey, 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 I like that, brother. Yeah. Get advice from someone you truly trust, someone who has a good heart, someone, who,
Like a pastor, honestly, get
like I
advice from
said,
like a pastor who's married that
or even
and
your friend, like, you know what I'm saying? I could come to you, Izzy,
no, listen to this. I think this is
uh,
good advice right here. Look, listen. If you want to get good advice, go ask somebody who's been married like for a long time. Not married 3 times, twice. I've been
or don't have
cheated
anybody at
like five.
all.
Exactly. Look at for good advice. Look for someone who's in their courage, right? Who's been married for a long period of time that knows what they're talking about and knows how to overcome a lot of these different things. And it's
And
rare,
and
bro.
and
It's
and
rare
it's,
to
and
be in
it's
that.
not gonna steer you wrong. Who's gonna be able to step back and maybe even tell you where you fucked up at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only like, oh, yeah, this and that, down talking the other person. You want to hear where you messed up at too. Like, you know what I'm saying? To give you some clarity, because you may be thinking one way, while your partner, your girl might be thinking a different way. And sometimes you need somebody to step in and be like, yeah, nah, okay, I could kind of see her point right here. Like, you kind of messed up right here. And you could sit back and
Yes,
be like, bro,
yes,
like, and if it's a good friend, right, he gonna tell you that, right? If it's a
yes,
cool friend
yes.
and he really care about your relationship because he know that y'all like this, you know what I'm saying? He know you and your woman is like this. He gonna tell you what's up. Like, yeah, bro, I don't know. I feel like you could have handled this situation just a little bit different. Like, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Yes. You gotta surround yourself not with yes men. You gotta
Yeah,
surround yourself
somebody who's
with
gonna
people
tell
that
you
are gonna
straight
tell you the
up.
truth. Yes.
Like, hey,
Yes.
hey, your breath stink.
Hey, and we'll end on that note because I think that'll be a funny. I think another topic that we'll talk about is etiquette. How do you present yourself? I think so. We'll do that next episode.